Shoot, that nothing.
I reckon you can't.
I reckon I can.
The hairy man twisted, the hairy man turned, the hairy man breathed with a breath that burned, and turned himself into a
giraffe.
I reckon you ain't nowhere near to turning yourself into no alligator.
I reckon I am.
The hairy man twisted, the hairy man turned, the hairy man breathed with a breath that burned.
Leaped high in the air and landed with his knees.
Did a little jig all through them trees. Turned himself into a
alligator.
My mama, she said the hardest thing to do is to turn yourself into something littler than you.
I reckon it is.
Well, I expect you ain't about to turn yourself into no possum.
I reckon I am.
The hairy man took 4 or 5 great breaths and looked round the woods like 100 deaths.
And then the hairy man twisted, the hairy man turned, the hairy man breathed with a breath that burned. Leaped high in the air and landed with his knees. Did a little jig all through them trees.
Swore and raved and kicked his own shin, shitted up a tree and down again.
And with a whole lot of sweating,
And fussing.
And some cussing.
turned himself into a
Possum! Wiley grabbed it and throwed it in the sack.
Wiley, that's the first time you fooled him.
The first time you fooled the hairy man.
Hairy man, hairy man.
Fool him 2 more times.
And he'll leave you alone.
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 And Wiley took that sack of possum and flung it into the river.
Awesome. Goodbye, hair man.
Goodbye, hairy man.
Goodbye, hair man.
And then Wiley started home through the swamp. And then he looked up, and what did he see? A-coming through the trees?
A-coming through the trees, a-coming through the trees.
What did he see coming through the trees?
He saw the hairy man. He saw the scary face of the hairy man. He saw the scary, very hairy, and a merry, most unordinary face of the hairy man. The hairy man.
Hair everywhere.
He was hairy. That hairy.
And mighty scary.
And mighty scary.
Hairy man, how'd you get out of that sack?
I smart, Wiley. I turned myself into a cyclone, and I blew myself out.
Oh, hairy man.
And Wiley, I gonna sit right here till your belly get the hungry grumbles here, just so I can see you fall out of that tree.
Sure enough, Wiley was up that tree again.
Hug that tree trunk, Wiley.
Well, hairy man, you're pretty good at changing faces, but how good are you at changing places?
What do you mean?
Well, can you make something that's really here and make that thing plumb disappear?
Huh?
Said the hairy man, blowing on his nails and shining real stuck up on his chest.
That there is my speciality. Take a look at that old bird nest there.
And sure enough, when Wiley looked, it was gone.
But Wiley, he looks skeptical.
Now take a look at your shirt.
And sure enough, when Wiley looked, it was gone.
But Wiley, he looks skeptical.
Wiley, you is looking mighty skeptical.
Hairy man, I is mighty skeptical.
What I gotta do to make you unskeptical?
Well,
Said Wiley.
see this rope tied around my pants? I know it's here. Can you make this rope here disappear?
I can make the rope for miles around go away. Cause this is my county. And what I says goes.
I is skeptical. So the hairy man was plumb put out.
Because the hairy man, he can't stand no doubt.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
So we hollered so loud the air turned blue.
and a bird on a limb just popped in too.
And he yelled,
Rope! Rope! Wherever you are! Go away to I don't know where! Rope! Disappear! Get away from here!
I reckon that includes ropes that hold pants up.
I said, oh, rope!
Wiley grabbed at his pants.
I reckon that includes ropes that dangles buckets from wells.
I said, all rope!
And all over the county, buckets fell into wells.
I reckon that includes ropes that ties dogs up.
Wiley grinned at the hairy man.
But the hairy man wasn't grinning. He was too busy turning green. I said,
I heard you! Oops.
Run, hairy man! The dogs will eat you up, hairy man! Wiley, Wiley, that's the second time you fooled him.
The second time you fooled the hairy man. Hairy man, hairy man. Fool him one more time.
And he'll leave you alone.
Alone, alone.
Alone.
Then Wiley went home.
Mama got a chair, sat herself down, and started to stare.
Studying, studying.
Mama said to Wiley,
Wiley, Wiley,
said she,
Wiley, yes'm? Wiley, yes'm. I'm gonna sit right here and study out a way to fool that hairy man a third time today.
And Wiley took his dogs and tied one up at the front door.
And one at the back.
And wished he had two more.
Wiley built a fire in the fireplace grate.
And then he went in and sat in the chair, propped chin in his hands, and started to stare.
And helped his mama meditate.
Studying, studying.
The wheels go round.
Studying, studying.
Without a sound.
And then Mama said to Wiley, 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 said she.
Wiley, yes'm? Wiley, yes'm. You go down to the pig pen, see, and bring that sucking pig to me.
And that's what he done. And then...
Now, Wiley, put that pig in your little bed and cover him up from hoof to head.
And that's what he done. And then...
Now, Wiley, you go spend the rest of the night up in the attic and out of sight.
And that's what he done. And then...
Oh man, and then...
And then... There weren't no sound. No sound at all. Except Wiley's breathing and a cricket call.
And then... That cricket call, it got so loud that what was sound became a cloud.
Everything was turned around. Things you saw were turned to sound.
In Wiley's world, for just a minute, what was heard had color in it.
He pressed his ear in that wall, listening to that cricket call.
Wiley looked out of a knothole.
And what did he see on the ground?
One of his hound dogs standing up, slipstrode back and jumping around, an animal as big as a mule.
As big as a mule.
But it weren't a mule, because mules don't have no horns, as a rule.
Anyone knows that. Any old fool saw an animal as big as a mule come out of the woods with a look at the house.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Because a thing that can turn itself into a creature as small as a possum can certainly turn itself into one as large as a mule.
Awesome. I know what it is. I know what it is.
And then his dog jumped and jerked at his noose.
But he couldn't get loose.
Couldn't get loose. I know what it is. I know what it is.
Then an animal, bigger than a dog, with a snout and great big teeth that stuck way out.
I know what it is. Ran out of the woods with a growl at the house.
Then suddenly, both ropes on his hounds went slack as they broke loose and yelped and chased around back. An animal that could have been
A possum!
Awesome.
Only it wasn't.
Only it wasn't.
I
I know what it is.
And all at once, on the roof, he heard something as big as a cow, a flapping his wings like a bird. It was starting to come down the chimney now.
But cussing and fussing, when it found a fire in the fireplace,
It jumped to the ground.
Then as big as you please come around to the door where it knocked.